What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Peanut Gallery Podcast. This is the place that we provide our completely unprofessional and insignificant opinions on the most important and relevant topics of the day. I'm your host, Jared, and with me, as always, is Seth. How you doing, man?
Doing well. Excited to be recording again.
I'm excited
we took a little
about
break
this show,
there.
man.
Yeah, we took a little break there for Thanksgiving, spend time with family and friends. It's very nice. Ate a lot, but excited to be back. I think we have some good things to talk about. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
and,
you just woke up from your food coma this morning, so you're ready to go.
You know, just like 4 or 5. What has it been? A week now?
Yeah,
just
almost
knocked out.
something like that.
Yeah, don't have anything to do. No, I'm excited.
But yeah, man, me too. Let's get into it. We're gonna go ahead and move into the what was nuts this week. All right, guys, welcome back. We're gonna move right into the what was nuts this week segment. So first thing on the list, Castro died.
Dude, what the heck were those things?
Right? You like these? So
I missed the memo. I'm just shaking my hands. What the heck?
Yeah, man. So I thought of something to celebrate this amazing moment, and I couldn't find any online. So I went to Walmart, and I kind of craft made these things. You'll notice there's American flag duct tape on them because they were designed, manufactured, and used here in America. So,
dude, Trump's already bringing the jobs back.
Exactly. No one can get mad at me for using Spanish Maracas because these are, in fact, American Maracas.
Totally not intolerable.
Exactly.
Totally.
So, yeah, great intro there to Castro's death, and that basically explains my feeling on it. Couldn't be more excited.
I mean, it's kind of bad to be like, oh, I'm glad he's dead, but I don't really think either one of us
But if you know anything about Castro, it's not bad at all.
He wasn't exactly a great person for a lot of people.
No. And that's what drives me crazy. Like, when you have people, what was it, the Canadian Prime Minister.
Yeah, true.
His statement on it, we don't have the whole text, but he was talking about how Castro was, a great revolutionary leader, which normally revolutions don't end that well. The American Revolution is one of the only ones that has. But and then talking about how the Cuban people loved him and his service to the Cuban people for 58 years. Like, he was a dictator. Typically, that's not associated with service. But
I think you could say he was but a successful revolutionary leader because he was
successful in overthrowing
take
the
over
previous leader.
Cuba.
Yes, that is
and
true.
And he did defy America for a while, and he fought off many operations to try to assassinate him. But what he did to
Cuba, had so many assassination attempts. I was reading something, and now we don't know factual numbers. He says like 690 something, but that could be them kind of blowing that up. I don't know, but there were definitely a lot. Like,
I like the idea that he wakes up and like has like a wall, and he just like puts a tally on it. It was like, today.
He's like, that was the 398th assassination attempt.
Yeah,
no,
but
it's crazy.
I mean, he hasn't been. He resigned in 2008, I believe. February of 2008, he resigned. So he hasn't really been in control of Cuba. I mean, probably still has a ton of influence.
Yeah, well, and his brother runs it now.
Yeah, I really don't think it really means much that he died, honestly, because I think Cuba's kind of already been doing what they're going to do after he resigned. But, I mean, I don't think he was really a great. I mean, many exterminations of people that he deemed opposing to his regime.
Oh, yeah, he was awful, man. I mean, a study from a University of Hawaii professor came out. He studies government mass killings, basically.
Nice. That's a great place.
I know, isn't it pleasant? But he estimated that I think it was like 141,000 people Castro had executed by 1987, which like the study ended in 1987, and he had already killed 141,000 people. And
he's a pretty good KD, man.
People. Yeah, he sure does.
No, that's horrible. And that's horrible. Yeah.
And then when you hear like all these stories, over 2 million people have left Cuba since 1958 when Fidel Castro took power. You have stories of thousands of people have drowned. It's estimated about thousands of people have drowned coming from Cuba to Florida. They float across in cars. What'd you say?
That's just bad planning.
Bad planning.
You're really going to take a car? All right.
Dude, they don't have any money because he bankrupted their economy.
You have a car.
Yeah, from the 50s.
Sell the car, get a piece of a raft. Anyway, I have actually an interesting story to kind of tie into this. So, my girlfriend's an architecture student, and she has 2 Cuban students currently in her year, architecture set in year, so in her semester year. I don't think they're necessarily in her specific class, but they're around. And they're a little bit older, but she's talked to them and asked them, like, why are they here? Why did they leave Cuba? And it's crazy, man. So they went through the process of how to be an architect in Cuba. So in America, schools are either a 4-year program or a 5-year program. And then after that, you take a test and then you become a licensed architect. You don't become an architect just from schooling. But in Cuba, you're in school for 5 years. And after that, you're immediately an architect. But the government places you in a company for either 2 years if you're a male or 3 years if you're a female. Mandated.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have the ability to choose between about 10 firms that you're only allowed to work for, because you're only allowed to legally work for any practice that's run by the government.
Yeah,
any practice
communism.
That's not run by the government, you're not allowed to. It's illegal to work for. So they were like, screw this, left to come here, get a degree here where they have the freedom to do whatever they want in architecture. They can start their own firm, they can work here, they can work there. They're not in this strict, bogged down government rule that Cuba has.
That would probably explain why Cuba's economy is like the second worst out of all Latin American countries.
See, I thought it was pretty good, but I haven't really done the research.
It's right behind Haiti and Nicaragua for the worst.
Nice.
Now, it was really good in 1958, but when the revolution started and Castro took it over from the previous dictator, it was really good. But he has totally screwed up Cuba in his communist style.
Communist ways.
Exactly.
I thought it was pretty. It became self-sufficient though, because it couldn't rely on America.
Cuba is so poor right now.
Yeah, I know it's very poor. Yeah, there's very poor parts. It's one of those countries where there's like very poor parts and then very wealthy parts.
Yeah,
right?
well,
like
if you're part of the communist elite, then you're doing pretty well. Then you're doing pretty well. And if you're not, then life sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it drives me crazy because people attribute Castro to doing good things for the healthcare system.
Oh, dude, if you actually look into that,
it's
holy
horrible.
crap.
It's horrible.
Like, I saw a picture of this guy that went to Cuba to look at the healthcare system, and it's like they have just no regulations. Like the hospitals and stuff, there's no regulations or standards where it's like the roofs are gross and moldy and nothing's
patients
like
have to bring their own toilet paper and light bulbs. Okay.
Well, hey, I mean, government assistance, right? I mean, they're cutting costs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
Castro
insane.
needs this big wall for all of his assassination attempts.
Exactly,
so
he's got to protect.
Money's got to come from somewhere.
No, it's
yeah. Although they do have the highest not the highest, but a very high adult literacy rate. In America, it's about 86, and Cuba, it's pretty much 100%, which is interesting. I don't know if that's just because. I don't really know why that is. I mean, college and schooling is free, government provided. So, I mean, granted.
Of course, we don't know the quality of the reading or the schooling and those statistics.
Well, literacy,
I
think, is just a basic understanding of reading.
Yeah.
I can't believe ours is 86, man. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
What the heck, America?
Well, we've got a lot of people here, man. Lots of people here. It's a little different than the 11 million people
like,
who
doesn't
live in
learn
Cuba.
how to read? I don't know.
You're privileged, all right? You're just privileged.
That's right. I forgot.
That's what it is.
I need to thank you for identifying my privilege.
I'm here to keep you in check.
Yeah, thank you.
And
all right, let's move on to the next one, man. I think we should just move on to the next one.
Cool. Let's do it. So yeah, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the Ohio State attack. This just happened recently, within this week.
Last couple of days, yeah.
Yeah. An attacker. His name was Abdul Raza Ali Artan. So he was an 18-year-old refugee from Pakistan who left Somalia. So
he was here legally,
and
he was allowed to be here. Like there wasn't any reason for him not to be here, other than the fact that some people might not like where he was from.
This is like the classic nightmare situation for anyone who wants to import refugees and is for gun control.
I don't think that's the right word. I don't think import. Import?
Yeah,
it's
like importing
shipment.
people, you know?
All right, let's not
okay. Allow in refugees without vetting them, and then them using or committing violent acts without weapons too. Yes. So it just goes to prove that gun or no gun, people will commit violent acts.
Yeah,
because
he
nature.
This kid was pretty resourceful, man. So drove a car into a group of students and then jumped out with a butcher knife and continued slashing. Luckily, no fatalities, right? Besides obviously him.
Not that's reported yet. 11 people were hospitalized, but they're expected to live. So
that's very good. And the reason why there was such a little, 11 people is a lot. Don't get me wrong, that's bad. But an Officer Alan Hirokajuko, I don't know how to say his last name, 28 years old. He got him within a minute of the dude starting the attack.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's so dope, man.
Yeah.
I think he was patrolling, saw the car come through, jump out. He pulled out his gun, told them to put the knife down. The dude didn't, so took care of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that guy's a hero.
Pretty freaking good. Definitely a hero.
Guy's a hero. What frustrates me the most about this story is that you have people on the right and the left saying that we don't know the motive, we don't know what caused this, why it happened. You had the governor of Ohio, John Kasich, come out the day after saying, it may never be clear what the motive was.
Guess what? It's pretty clear on Facebook.
It's pretty clear on Facebook. So I'm just going to read to you guys really quick what he posted on Facebook. It's a little long, but bear with me because it's important. So he starts off by saying he's so sick and tired of his brothers and sisters being slain everywhere. Seeing my fellow Muslims being tortured, raped, and killed in Burma led to a boiling point. I can't take it anymore. America, stop interfering with other countries, especially the Muslim Ummah. We are not weak. We are not weak. It's a location.
Got it.
We are not weak. We are not weak. Repeating that for some reason. If you want Muslims to stop carrying out lone wolf attacks, then make peace with Dawahal and Al-Sham. Don't know what that is. Make a pact or a treaty with them where you promise to leave them alone, you and your fellow apostate allies. By Allah, we will not let you sleep unless you give peace to the Muslims. You will not celebrate or enjoy any holiday. Stop killing the Muslims in Burma. By the way, every single Muslim who disapproves of my actions is a sleeper cell waiting for a signal. I am warning you, O America. And a message to the Muslims who don't listen, celebrity scholars who sold their deen. I am talking about the likes of Yashar Qadi, and he names a couple of other Muslims who have spoken out against this kind of radical Islamic ideology. Let me ask you this question. If Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, and his Sabda were here today, would the Western media not call them terrorists? To conclude, by Allah, I am willing to kill 1 billion infidels in retribution for a single disabled Muslim. So,
you know what?
I don't think his motive was clear.
Jared, that's religious differences. That's not motive, God, it's so frustrating. Did he say if Allah, if Muhammad was here, would we call him a terrorist?
Yeah, Western media would call him a terrorist.
I think we would.
And a pedophile.
Because he's kind of a terrorist.
Well. A pedophile as well.
Yes. Well, no, she was 11, right?
She was 9.
I guess
she was 9.
Well, they were 9 when they got married, and then whatever.
Nailed it.
Dude, I'm glad no one died.
This is the problem with it, though, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Because we could spend a long time on this.
You can't defeat an enemy unless you name it, or whatever you're fighting against. You can't beat it if you don't name it. We couldn't have beat the Nazis. We couldn't have beat them.
You don't
Germany
identify
if you don't identify what it is. So that's what's just so frustrating here. You need to identify it and know
what happened.
Know what you're fighting against.
Exactly.
All right.
I don't know, dude.
Moving on to the next
once
thing.
Again, great that no one died. Let's move on to the next
Yeah, there you go. A recount has been asked for by Jill Stein.
Oh, lovely Jill Stein.
Yeah.
She got a lot of votes. Oh, wait.
Oh, dude, huge, man. I don't know why anyone is...
Did she get more than Gary Johnson? Do you have any idea?
No, not even close. Gary Johnson... Well,
got it.
They both didn't get that many. Gary Johnson got like 4. She got like just over 1 million.
Okay.
Not 4. 4 million.
So she initiated this, I don't know what you'd call it, a movement for vote recounts, because she's got she's gotten Wisconsin to agree to recounts, and then she's currently in talks with Michigan and Pennsylvania to do voter recounts. I don't know. Is this for popular vote or is this for everything? I don't understand what the point of these.
She wants to recount the popular vote of the state, which then determines where the electoral votes go. It's convenient that the 3 states she wants the recount in are the 3 states.
Oh, the ones that would matter. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't understand what is in it for her, but Clinton has come forward and said that she's going to join.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason. Then also she's asking for money to support the recount, so I think it's a way for the Green Party to make some more money.
Nah, dude, they're totally put all of the money into helping the recounts. Totally nothing sketchy going on there.
Exactly. No corruption going on there. But yeah, no, this is just a classic. It's just classic hypocrisy, because then you have Hillary Clinton saying, "Yeah, well, we'll join in because we want to make sure that the election was fair for the American people."
After she berated Trump,
yes,
and everyone assumed Trump wouldn't accept the results because everyone thought he was going to lose, which guess what? He didn't. Hillary lost. Love saying that. But everyone thought he was going to lose, and they made him say it on the debate, was like, are you going to accept the results? And then Hillary went on this rant of it being the most important pillar of our democracy and blah, blah. And now she's questioning the results. And it's like,
yeah, it's great. It's so great because when she thought that she was going to win hands down, no problem at all, then it's this huge problem. But now that she's in the situation, she's doing the exact same thing that Donald Trump said that he might do.
Yep.
Politics. It's great.
Very frustrating. Yep, politics.
Let's move on to something cool.
Yeah. So I think this is really awesome. A little known company, I don't know if you've heard of it, Nintendo, has come out and said that they're doing a partnership with Universal Studios. And what they're gonna be doing by by 2020 they're gonna be building a Mario themed theme park location segment of their Universal Studios in each of their
like a Mario World.
Like there's Harry Potter World right now, Marvel, Dr. Seuss. But they're gonna in their Hollywood, Orlando, and Osaka. I don't know where that one is. Theme parks are gonna be building a standalone Mario theme park, and
it's awesome.
If it's anything like the Harry Potter one, dude, I am stoked.
That'd be
the
really
Harry
cool.
Potter one is the greatest theme park environment to be in. Like, I think Disney on a whole is better, but the Harry Potter one specifically blows everything out of the water that Disney ever did.
That's really cool.
So I am so excited, and I think it's cool to see Nintendo jumping in with them. I mean, they're not usually used to doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It is coinciding with the Olympics being in Japan, so I think that has a big deal to do with it because Mario's going to be a big theme in their Olympic. What is it called? The performance, I guess. Their opening performance and stuff. Mario's going to be a big deal. So
do we know? Do we know when they're going to try and have it up? For
2020.
Okay.
And it's going to cost about $350 million. But I mean, I think Nintendo has billions in pocket from the Wii, so I think they're golden. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what comes of this. Oh, Mario World would be so dope. Yeah. I hope I can just like jump on people. It'd be great.
Bounce on their heads.
You know.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and move on into the main topic of the show then. All right, guys. We're back in the main topic, and this week we're gonna talk a little bit about tolerance.
Yep. Tolerance. So just to start at a baseline, we're going to just define tolerance and tolerate and just the words and what they mean, just as a basic definition level. So tolerance is defined as the ability or willingness to tolerate something. I hate when they use the word in the definition. In particular, the existence of opinions or behavior that one does not necessarily agree with. So then let's define tolerate. Tolerate is to allow the existence, occurrence, or practice of something that one does not necessarily like or agree with without interference. So that's the baseline of what tolerance. And now we're going to talk about tolerance on each side of the aisle, because I think personally it's messed up on each aisle, on each side. And because it's a pretty big issue. People are always talking about we need to have more tolerance of people that are different from us. Tolerance, whether it be gender, skin color, political beliefs, racial beliefs, religious beliefs. people are always using this buzzword of the fact that we need to be more tolerant.
Tolerant.
Speak. Yeah, that thing. Of other people. So, yeah. So, what do you... what's your ideas?
Yeah, no, I think this is a really important thing for people to kind of understand, because I believe that people would be much less divided in America today if they could just grasp this simple meaning of a word.
Definitely.
But no, I think you hear people on the left, especially the left, talking about that people, are bigots or racist and they need to be more tolerant and stuff like that. And while there are people on the right who are outliers, who are bigots and racists, the vast majority of people are not bigots and racists.
Just normal people, man.
They're just normal people, and they have their own beliefs. And that's not that they want to impose them on other people, but they have their own beliefs. And then, people on the left, they can have their beliefs, and that's fine, and that's how it works. But I feel like there's so much like gay pride and all this kind of stuff that, like, it's not just I'm gay and that's fine and we can keep living. It's I'm gay, I'm going to have a parade. You need to like it.
Me.
It's going to be in every TV show ever. And, like, this is who I am. I'm here. I'm gay. You better like it. You know what I mean? And I think it's just they don't tolerate anyone who doesn't tolerate them.
So this is how I see it. I agree with what you said, but I see it as, so the left messes it up in that they act in a way where if you don't agree with what they think or you have a different opinion, you're wrong, that's bad.
You're a bigot.
They want everyone to think the same way.
Uh-huh.
Which I think is bad, and that's not what tolerance is. That's not at all. But then I also think on the right, you have it where they don't like people that think differently. And in a similar way, they want everyone to think the same, but they don't condemn everyone that thinks differently, but I don't know how to, like, because I think the right is just as intolerable with people, because, I mean, you have on the right people that just refuse to acknowledge gay marriage, and they think horrible and they do horrible things to gay people, just as an example. And that's horrible. And, like, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but for me personally, I mean, I think I don't agree with gay marriage, and I don't think that it's weird to me. I'm not on board with it, but I would never ever act in a negative manner towards a gay person. I mean, I live in a very progressive town, and I have I have gay friends, and that's totally fine. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I just don't think it's right. I think it's weird, but I also think, like, infidelity and cheating on your girlfriend is weird, and a lot of people do that. But I'm never gonna be like, you're a horrible person, Like, I don't care. Like, I think tolerance is not saying everyone needs to think or believe the same way. I think it's acknowledging our differences and then accepting them and being like, okay, we're different. It's not the end of the world.
Inside. Yeah, I mean, my personal stance on gay marriage is I don't agree with it. That's fine. I mean, I personally am a Christian, so I think that gay marriage is a sin. But there's people who don't believe in the Bible and don't believe that and think I'm an idiot, and that's fine. So they can believe that I'm an idiot. I can believe that they're sinning, and that's America. You can live in that world. I think that the government needs to stay out of it. It's not the government's business. People can do what they want, and as long as people aren't treating people, poorly or discriminating against them because of, what they do, as long as they're not breaking the law or their race or anything like that, then I don't think that there's a problem with it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Why people have to go out of their way to discriminate or hate or label people as bigots or whatever, when a lot of them aren't. The majority of them aren't.
Like you said, where as long as you're not hurting someone else, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, we would never scream, you're gonna burn in hell to a gay person. Like, we would never do that, because we're both Christians. Like, we're just not going to do that. That's not what we're taught. That's not what we believe. And people immediately usually lump you into that thing, like, oh, you're a gay hating Christian, you're homophobic. It's like, no, I just think marriage, which it was defined as for hundreds and thousands of years as a man and a woman, I just think that's what it is. Sorry. Like, but I mean, I personally, like, this is where I think we fall a little bit differently. I really don't think I don't really care if gay people get married. Like, I think it's wrong, but I mean, you're free to do whatever the heck you want.
It's not the government's business to intervene.
But it's also, I mean, I think it was a pretty important step to make it legal, because people just weren't allowed to. Like, it was illegal to get married, being gay. So get married. Like, I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. Do whatever you want. I think it's wrong, but it's not my place to tell you what you can and can't do. Like, that's not what my place is.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't think it's the government's place to tell people that, like, for instance, we've seen many instances where, like, a priest feels like they don't believe in gay marriage. They don't want to marry these two people, and yet they're forced to, or they get sued, or something happens, and it's like, no, they don't want to do it. Don't make them do it. Like, that's not tolerance. That's forcing someone else to change their beliefs. Like, no, go to a different priest. Go somewhere else. Like,
yeah, there's plenty of other priests
that
would marry you, or bakers that would bake your wedding cake.
Except
like, just go to a different one.
They don't want that, and be like, okay, we'll move on with our lives. Like, it's not. And
but they don't want that because so many people. I'm not generalizing everybody, but a lot of people on the left want you, or want to force you to be okay with it. Yes. And that's where I think the tolerance is
not tolerance.
Is not tolerance at all, and it's very hypocritical. Like, there's been the story about Michelle Obama's the first lady, obviously, and her fashion designer has refused to design Melania Trump's clothes. Now, I don't think Melania Trump really cares. She's married to a multi-billionaire. I'm sure she has perfectly adequate fashion designers. However, the story behind it, and I personally think that that's fine. She should have every right to do that.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to make her dress.
Yeah, but then you have stories on the other side where people are forced to bake cakes. Their shop was shut down because they did not bake the cake.
Yeah, that was messed up.
And it needs to be the same on both sides.
Yeah.
And that kind of
stuff. It's not tolerance when anyone who thinks differently than you condemn and basically just run them in. Like, that's not tolerance. Tolerance is being like, oh, you're different, I'm different, we're different. Cool.
Yeah, and personally, I mean, honestly, with the designer, I think that she obviously shouldn't work for the White House anymore. But the thing that bugs me about that is the Constitution protects against your religious freedom. It doesn't protect you against your political views. She's saying she's not going to design something for her because she disagrees with her politically. That's not protected by the Constitution. Your religious views are. So I don't even think those are really comparable. However, I would compromise in saying that it just at least needs to be the same for both
So what
parties.
are you saying? You're saying that they should be allowed, like, are they firing her or is she leaving?
I don't know the full. I mean, I would assume she's leaving. She's not going to do anything. She's
yeah,
not
like, I think that's totally
anything.
fine. She's allowed to leave. If she doesn't want to do it,
then she would be
guess
fired.
What? You don't have to do it. We're not
exactly.
Cuba.
Yeah, you can go on and do something else. I don't know. It bugs me then. And then you also have the stories about what was it? The Benham brothers or something like that.
Yeah, on the HGTV. Yeah, that was crazy. Two brothers, all they wanted to do, well, I mean, obviously not all they wanted to do. They wanted to be on TV. But what they wanted to do was, I think it was build homes for people that are less fortunate than them, to do good in the world, which I think most people on both sides would agree with is a good thing. Why not help people? But then it came out that they're pro-Christian. They're Christian, pro-same. Gosh, I can't talk. They're
traditional
Christian,
marriage,
and they're pro-traditional marriage.
Yeah.
And then they got destroyed. The media went after them. This happened back in 2005. And HGTV ended up dropping the show. I don't think it ever even came out because it just came out. Like, there were no actions.
This is in 2005?
2015. Did I say 2005?
Oh, okay. I was going to say Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were against same-sex marriage then.
If there were actions where they were actively being like, well, we'll do houses for people but not gay people, that I would have a problem with that. But the only thing was because it came out in a church sermon that they were attending. It's like, all you did was get these two people that just wanted to help people off the air. Like, what? And they continued. They were great, man. They came out and they were like,
what do their personal religious beliefs have to do with their ability to build houses?
Everything, Jared. Because everything's tied to. But they continued to build the homes because they even said, like, we're not doing this because we want to be on TV. We're doing this because we want to help people. Yeah. And they continued to help people. So that's great. Good on them. The freaking media and the people that destroyed them, what are you doing? Like, you're not practicing what you're preaching. You preach tolerance. You preach that we need to just be accepting of other people. And you're just totally not accepting. You can't even accept freaking math with electoral results. Like, I don't even understand.
Yeah, no. And I mean, there's a similar story with Chip and Jones Gaines. They were on... What'd you say?
Chip.
Yes, Chip.
Chip.
They were on a Fixer Upper, TV show. That was the name of the TV show, and they designed. It was a similar thing with them.
Sounds like an anti-gay TV show.
Yeah, exactly. And they helped kind of renovate houses and all that kind of stuff. I don't know the exact thing, but it was another like fixer upper home kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got like destroyed by the BuzzFeed and all this kind of stuff because they attended a church where the pastor essentially read the Bible and read what the Bible said. I know, heaven forbid that they go to a church
in the country
where the pastor
based on religious
reads,
freedom. Heaven forbid he practiced that.
I know. And the hypocrisy is unreal because you have Barack Obama, who attended a church for 20 years by Reverend Wright, who said, I quote, America, or damn America. And then he also said that America created AIDS to kill black people. Sources in the description. Check it out. So it's
solid.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And nobody talked about that. So I think that the tolerance is just, it's not equal for both parties, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people on the left and stuff like that are fine. They're more in the middle. They don't care about it. But I think there's more of a majority, or at least they're more outspoken. There's more stories like this where people, who have certain religious beliefs don't do things, and then they get crucified by the media and stuff like that. And I think it's because the media is more biased towards the left. I think that's evident.
No, the media is totally not biased.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally
but I hear way more stories about, more conservative people or something like that.
Yeah,
having
the
problems
Christian
with the whole
devil
tolerance aspect.
But I mean, I think it's bad on both sides. I think both sides need to be doing a lot better with it. I mean, it was telling that, like, I think pretty much Trump was the only Republican candidate that even mentioned LGBTQ rights or anything, and not to say that they don't believe in equal rights. What?
You forgot the T. Okay.
Whatever.
Jeez. Why do you
not
hate them?
tolerating them?
Why do you
no,
hate
but not only the fact that, I mean, just because the other candidates didn't, the Republican nominees didn't mention it, doesn't mean that they like hate them. But I think it is a little bit telling that they're not willing to speak out and be like, listen, I think
that it's they have certain candidates have said that though. I think they come out and say gay people have just as many rights as normal people. That's it. That should be the extent of the conversation. It doesn't have to be this big thing. You're gay, that's fine.
And straight people, there's no difference.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, who cares?
Like, no one cares what you do in your private life. Like, get over it. I mean,
and that's why, like, you want to talk about why Hillary Clinton lost. It's because the media and everything blows this up, and people are tired of the media and people calling them bigots and xenophobic and all this kind of stuff. When
you're not tolerant, and you're like, listen here.
Yeah. You're just like, I don't want to talk about it that much because I don't really care because they're people. The only difference is, they have sex with men and I have sex with women. That's fine. They have rights. Like, that's it. That's the extent of the conversation. It's done.
It's not even a big deal. And it shouldn't be a big deal, Yeah. Like you said, it's not like candidates are coming out and being like, you know what? We're going to make sure that you can still have children. It's like, obviously, you're allowed to have it should be at that point. It should be to where it doesn't even need to be mentioned, But, I mean, I really don't think it is right now.
No, it's not. And, I mean, the reason it's mentioned is just because it's not they're a small minority of people in the United States. Like, they're a loud voice, but there's just not that many of them. So
that doesn't matter. I mean, we talked about with the Electoral College. I mean, the small voices, you need to still speak to them.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
I don't think it matters that they're a small amount of people. They are people.
I think that's just why it's still
to be addressed. Yeah. Well, no, because you had Cruz coming out being so pro-Christian, pro-same-sex marriage. I mean,
traditional marriage.
Why
that's true, but he never spoke against same-sex marriage.
Well,
in the sense that he just personally said that he was against it.
To say you're pro-traditional marriage, it's like a negative. You can insinuate that they're against same-sex. Like, you wouldn't say.
I don't agree with that though. Like, I mean, gay people say that they're pro same-sex marriage. I don't assume that they're anti-traditional marriage.
That's true.
I just assume, like, when I say I'm pro-traditional marriage, that doesn't mean I'm against same-sex marriage. I'm not against it in the form that there should be laws against it. I just think that it's wrong, but you can do whatever you want because of the United States Constitution, because of the amazing American experience that is America.
Country is based on.
Exactly. Yeah. You can do what you want, and if I don't agree with it, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care what
Guess
other
what?
people
It doesn't
think.
matter that someone disagrees with you.
Yeah,
like,
why do people care so much?
If it's not affecting you, like if it's affecting you, sure, have a problem with it. Does it really affect you that someone in Idaho or like Arkansas doesn't believe that same-sex marriage is like should be a thing? Like who cares?
Yeah.
And it should be, I mean, I think we can both agree. I think it should be, I don't want to get too like off the rails, but it should be state by state. I mean, you should allow the state to vote on whether or not what they think of it. And guess what? If you're in that state, you don't like it, move. I mean, we're built on this foundation of individual rights. You have the ability to move wherever you need to go. I mean,
yeah, that's definitely a complicated issue. I mean, I agree with you. I think that the 10th Amendment pretty clearly states that it should be left up to the states. But I don't know. There can be a case made against. I mean, the government should stay out of it, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
You know, like you can marry whoever you want. The government shouldn't be interfering with churches or synagogues or whatever, saying you can marry this person, you can't marry this person. Just if they want to, then let them marry them. And if that certain church won't marry you, find a different one. There's ones out there clearly.
It's interesting. We've been really focusing on the same-sex marriage issue. There has to be other things.
There's racism, there's xenophobia. I mean, right now, like the example of the Ohio State shooter, people saying there's not a motive. There clearly is. Like that plays into the reason that Donald Trump was elected, because people are tired of this kind of stuff. And whenever an attack like this happens, it's terrible. It's horrible for the country. But that just more people jump on that bandwagon of, man, we really need to be securing our border. We need to be vetting these people. We need to be securing American safety.
Yeah, and that falls under the whole, I have no problem with Muslims, but I have a problem with the specific parts of their scripture that say death to the infidels, and then also say that anyone, because they think everyone's born a Muslim, and then if you don't follow the Muslim faith, you've left. So anyone who isn't a Muslim is an infidel. Therefore, if you're not Muslim, death to you. I have a problem with that.
I agree.
That's affecting me. You know,
it's the argument that the Bible has.
That's beyond tolerance.
Yeah, no, and the argument that the Bible has scriptures and stuff that are similar or bad or unjustified and you can't defend. I don't really take the text of these religious scriptures at what they are. I don't care necessarily about what they say. I care about what they influence people to do. You don't see Christians.
But then people can misinterpret things.
I agree. Yeah, but people can interpret things however they want. So I care about what that causes them to do. You don't see Christians going out committing these acts. You do, however, see Muslims going out and committing these acts. So, I mean, obviously the fact that it says in the Quran that, kill all infidels, that's not good, obviously. But if no Muslims at all went out and killed people, I really wouldn't have that much of a problem with it. You know what I mean? It's more about like how people interpret. Like there's scriptures in the Bible that are questionable and people try and understand.
People that are using. So.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be. It's just you don't see the kind of violence in any other religion that you do with Islam. So. Yeah. There's a problem with the way that people are interpreting the scripture and the way.
Well, maybe it's how it's supposed to be interpreted.
Not even interpreting. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly what the scripture says, but there's just a problem with it. With the whole New Testament, there was kind of a revival in the Christian faith. There hasn't been that with Islam.
Well, there's a similar in Islam, right? Muslim.
But it's
Muhammad.
reversed.
Anything he says at that time,
it's reversed
supersedes anything he says previously.
Yeah, but that's later in the book, though. Like the things that he says in the beginning are superseded by what happens later in the book.
Exactly.
And the later parts of the Quran are more aggressive and stuff like that because it's more towards his death.
But I think a lot of issues in our country can be fixed if we just had tolerance with like.
Yeah, and tolerance for people that are conducting their lifestyles within the laws of our nation. If you're not breaking any laws, it's fine.
With the two sides, man. Like if the left could tolerate the right and the right could tolerate the left.
Butterflies and rainbows, man. It could be
it's
great.
So sad that that's actually like
and it's such a simple concept, though. It really baffles me. It really baffles me. Like if anything, this election cycle truly has brought out the worst in people, and it's over now. But it's not really over. The election cycle is over, but the divisiveness and the divide of the country is not over at all. You know what I mean? I mean, people
Yeah.
are still out there on Twitter, on Facebook, and all that kind of stuff, saying things. And
And the people that are like, you're so intolerant. I hate white people. It's like right there. It's not tolerance to hate white people. I mean,
or if you're white, you're automatically racist.
Intolerant. Yeah. I don't know. Why can't people be more tolerant? We try to be tolerant. I mean,
it's not that hard of a thing. Just respect people, and treat others how you want to be treated. There you go. Bam.
Golden rule.
It's the golden rule. It's not that hard to get. Just do it.
It really is.
Be a good person. Be decent.
People are allowed to have a different worldview than you.
Yeah, and if you find someone you disagree with, that's fine.
Sometimes that's the best conversations.
Celebrate the fact that you're in a country that both of you can
Let's celebrate
out.
Diversity.
Yeah.
But seriously, tolerant people. Come on. Let's make America great again.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap up that section. And we're going to move into a very tolerant section next, which is what triggered us this week. All right, guys. Welcome back to What Triggered Us This Week. This is where we talk about what made us retreat into our safe spaces and cry uncontrollably for hours at a time.
Nailed it.
So I'm going to let Seth lead this one off.
What's
your topic, man?
All right, so as you guys know, if you've been watching our videos, I was very, very hesitant to watch the new Harry Potter movie, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I said that I would probably go see it. Guess what? I saw it. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Been reading the books since they came out. I got the books the day they came out. Loved them, read them front to back multiple times. I love Harry Potter. I went and saw the new movie. Very nervous that it was going to get ruined and they were going to ruin this legacy of this Harry Potter that I've grown up with. But oh my gosh, it was so good. Go watch.
I want to see
Fantastic
it. I haven't
Beasts.
seen it yet.
It was so good. I don't know if it's because I went in with maybe not the highest expectations because I kind of thought it was going to suck.
Yeah.
But I was blown away, dude. It was so good. The characters were insanely good. I mean, minus one chick I wasn't really a fan of, but the main guy,
sexist.
I really like. I think he's stellar. He nails the role. He's quirky. He's weird. I love it. I really feel like, personally, I've been blessed to grow up with this world at the same time as the world's growing up. Like, I grew up when the first movie came out. I was young, so I kind of fit with the characters. And then as that came out, I grew up. And then this one continues that trend, man. This is, I think, the most adult one that they've put out. I mean, it's dark. There's some pretty adult themes. It does not hold your hand. It didn't try to make a new origin story and try to teach you how magic worked. It kind of made some assumptions that you understood how this world worked.
You had all of your magic spells written down when you went in, right?
Oh, I brought my wand. No, I actually did wear my my shirt, actually, that you gave me.
Slid in shit. Nice.
And I looked for my scarf, but I didn't have my scarf. But it was so good. Highly recommend seeing it. It's different. It doesn't try to recreate the original 7. It doesn't even touch them, really. There's no, going back and ruining them. It was incredible. I loved it. Go watch it. Worth it. I can't wait for it to come out so I can rewatch it because I'm not paying another $15 to see a movie. But so good. Very good. There's a great mixture of magic and beasts. And I'm just so excited to see where it goes, man. So excited. And I know from reading the books, the story that they're going to kind of follow with I think there are 5 movies we talked about. They're going to do 5. So I kind of know where the story is going to go. And so I'm really excited to see how they do it.
Nice.
And it's dope.
I mean, the story, it takes place in America this time, right?
It does. And it's way, way further in the past.
So it's not really a surprise that it's amazing.
It's cool though, man. Like, they have a different word for muggles. They call them nomad. Like, it's cool because it makes sense that, like, the Britons
Spoiler
have their
alert.
own way. Ruin the whole movie. And then the Americans have their own thing, and they have their own way of like, certain rules that were set in place with the Ministry of Magic are different because we have a different Ministry of Magic. It's not called the Ministry of Magic. It's called something American. I don't remember what it is, but it's dope. It's so good. Like, I was
Freedom
so
to
excited.
bear wands.
What?
Freedom to bear wands, man. That's all I'm saying. Everyone was so well armed there.
The Second Amendment plays a big role in the movie.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I wanna go see it for sure.
You have to go see. I can't believe you haven't seen it,
dude.
Man.
I wanted to see Hacksaw Ridge when it came out, and I still haven't even seen that. I really want to see that movie
about the medic.
Oh my gosh, shut up, dude. The movie's
dude,
amazing.
Castro had a better KD than him, man. What are you doing? No, it looks dope.
Hacksaw Ridge is gonna be amazing.
It looks good.
Can't wait to see it. But
all right, so what's your pick of the week, Jared? Or trigger us of the week, whatever.
Trigger us of the week, nice. Yeah. So this video, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. What makes me really happy is that the person who made this video, basically this video got famous because another person kind of shouted it out on their YouTube channel, and they're more famous. And it has like, I think it has like 2,000 likes and 126,000 dislikes or something like that.
The original video?
Great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's great. But okay, so anyways, the origin of this video, it's this girl talking about systemic racism and how all white people are automatically racist no matter what.
Wait, I don't think you were specific enough. All white people.
All of them. Hashtag yes,
no exception.
All of them.
All of them.
And she says it, I think, probably 50 times
all
during
of
the
them.
video. All of them.
All white people
and hold on,
racist.
but wait for the factual evidence that she brings during the video when she said, yes, all white people.
Yeah.
Okay. So she basically goes on to claim it's like a what, like a 10, 15, 20, like I don't know. It's like 12 minute video.
So the video's from Armored Skeptic, right?
Well, he talks about it a little bit.
So he basically tears
he does
her
a
apart.
rebuttal
like
of it. Yeah, go check it out. Check out his YouTube channel. But he breaks it down, and it's just, I mean, anyone could just listen to this and think, how ridiculous is it? I mean, the fact she specifically says that, you know, just because you're white, you're not an individual, you can't think freely because there's a system in place that makes you automatically a racist because you're born into it. And then she talks
with no proof of any systemic racism.
No proof of anything. No proof of a system either, other than the fact that yes, all white people.
All white people.
All white people. And so there's no fact, there's no evidence. It's all emotion. And really, I mean, honestly, like when I first saw this video, my first inclination was, man, I wish someone would slap this person in the face. And then my second inclination was, man, I really feel bad for this person if this is what they really believe. Like, how sad would that be if you think that, I mean, obviously black people are a minority in the country. The majority of people in America are white, and you think all of them are racist and hate you. Like, how sad would that be?
Well, we are racist, Jared, because all white people.
Well, because we were born white. Racist.
White. So I'm racist.
But it's just, this video.
And then she goes on to say that we don't have permission to comment on her videos as a white person.
And she talks about...
Guess what? It's YouTube. Do whatever I want. I can like.
Oh my gosh, she talks about in order for you to even be able to talk to her or seek any kind of retribution, you have to first admit that you're racist.
If you're white, yeah.
So in order for you to not be racist, you have to admit that you're racist, even if you're not racist, to prove that you're not racist.
Sold.
Nailed it. Like,
and I love one of her really good proof for arguments is she says, go up to a white person. Well, I don't know if you said this. She's African American. She's black. I don't. Surprise.
No, she said go up to a white. She said
no. I'm saying she is. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that. Surprise, she's not white.
Oh yeah, she's black.
But she said to prove this, go up to a white person and say you don't have permission to speak to me, and they're gonna get so mad because they're used to being able to do whatever they want because they're in this white supremacy,
this white
culture.
Oppressive mode.
Guess what? Anyone you go to talk to and say, guess what? You don't have permission to talk to me. It's gonna be pretty mad because guess what? That's racist, you know? Like, the whole video is her being racist.
And the fact that she doesn't think that she think it's not implied, but she doesn't specifically say it.
No,
however, it's strongly implied. Yeah, she doesn't say it, but it's very heavily implied that she can't be racist because she's black. Only white people can be racist. And she even goes on to say that whenever white people decide not to be racist, racism will be dead. That's not how it works. Racism is discriminating against someone directly because of the color of their skin. You can do that if you're white. You can do that if you're black. You can do that if you're freaking purple. Okay? So, yeah.
It's a great video. The guy destroys her. It's a rebuttal video. He destroys her. It's great.
Dude, honestly, if somebody walked up to me and said, you don't have permission to talk to me, I would not do anything at all. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't care what you think.
Okay,
I don't want to talk to you.
Bye.
You don't sound like a person I want to have a conversation with.
Exactly. Yeah. See you later.
Although part of me would want to just talk to him because I don't know if people
just
know
keep
this.
asking
I like
him
to mess with
questions and
people.
see if they keep repeating. Hey, you don't have permission to talk to me.
What'd you say? Wait, what'd you say? I didn't.
You're so intolerant, man. That's really.
I know.
Racist
I have no tolerance. Like she has so much. I'm very grateful that we have.
Well,
people
she's
like
very
on YouTube.
tolerant.
Yeah. And she's calling it how it is, you know. I mean, all white people are racist. I mean, what can we do?
I love.
And it's subconscious. Like we don't even have to be racist. We are racist.
You have no individual power at all to form
it's really
your
nice.
own constructive thoughts.
It's really nice being told what I am because then I don't have to like worry.
Makes it
about
easier.
It, you
don't have to worry about things like thinking. You know.
No, she just tells me, and I'm like, okay, you're
Got
right.
it.
Yeah,
Nailed
you
it.
have a lot of proof.
I just love that the video promoting it has like 120,000 dislikes compared to like 2 likes.
Wrecked.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. This has been another Peanut Gallery podcast. As always, guys, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Feel free to comment below if you want to offer your insignificant and unprofessional opinions. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud. All at Beyond Borders. Check us out there. If you don't have time to watch a video, you can at least go on SoundCloud and follow us and listen to it while you're doing other stuff. Check out our video coming out later this week. We talk about the Electoral College and the importance to know the difference between a republic and a democracy. So be sure and check that out. Like the videos, guys. Be sure and subscribe to our channel. Tune in again next Monday as we always upload our Peanut Gallery podcast. And remember, guys,